Hello amazing hackers, hope you're doing well and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to talk about Uncle Rat bug bounty guide, and we're going to give you guys a totally biased opinion because I created this course. But I'm gonna do my best to stay as honest as possible, given that I am a bit biased here. So let's get right into it, shall we? Price point $125 excluding VAT, $151.25 including VAT. And the instructor itself, that's Uncle Red, that's me. I'm an OSCP certified hacker, ethical hacker. I've done bug bounties quite extensively for a couple of months myself, which gathered me 519 integrity points, and I mostly hunt with clients these days. I love my ferrets, my bearded dragons, and my kit immensely. So that's a little bit about the instructor. So on the next section, we're going to go into the course and what it's all about. See you then, amazing hackers. So if we look at the course itself, it's about 10 hours of video material, and it includes a 50% off coaching session coupon and a Discord invite link. As you will see, for every topic in here, there is an article, there's a video, and there's a PowerPoint presentation usually. There's also going to be laboratories and quizzes for most of these things. As you can see, there's even a quiz for what you need to know about bug bounties to hopefully strengthen your knowledge a little bit and make you return to the things that you've learned before, because in my opinion, repetition is key. There's also a, I go a little bit about the fluff, like I call it, what goes into bug bounties, the intricacies of picking a bug bounty target, picking a bug bounty platform. Those are all things that I care about and which I put in there. Now, there's a main application methodology next. That's something that I've put deliberately at the start because I want you to read the main application and the main app methodology and the broad scope methodologies, and then I want you to go through the course and I want you to come back to these again, and they'll start making a lot more sense in the end. So that's why I structured them that way. First of all, main app, I talk a little bit about that, how I do it, what I hack, how I hack, but then also I demonstrate for you guys on the OWASP2 shop. So there's also a little quiz in there. If you guys don't want to complete the quizzes, that's totally fine, of course, but for the students who do want to complete the quizzes, they are in there. Then we have the broad scope methodologies, which is going to be both manual and automated technologies. I do a lot of manual broad scope. If I do broad scope, like Google dorking is what I mean by that, like manually doing GitHub dorking, and I know there's a lot of tools for that as well, of course, but I'm just a stubborn little rat who doesn't like doing that. So that's why I did that way. I also attached some techniques, quite a lot of them: CSRF, XSS, broken access control, IDORs, business logic, vulnerabilities. I try to include the less talked about issues in here because I feel like these aren't the things that you find a lot out there. And as I said before, as with any of these bug bounty courses that I think is good, you're going to be buying into somebody's methodology to a certain degree. Now, every single vulnerability type is going to be accompanied by a quiz as well. There's going to be a MP4 at least, and there's going to be the slides and a full text PDF. So that's at least going to be in each issue type, but it's usually going to be a lot more than that. There's also a section on analyzing JavaScript files, and excellent section about SQL injection by Ping Draconian in here. Really good. Highly recommended just for this section alone. And then of course there's the XXE section. You've got your template injections, which is also something that not a lot of people cover in my opinion. Then you have your cross-site scripting, which a lot of people cover wrong in my opinion. Your attack techniques for your command injection, and then you have your tools, which are going to be mostly burp switch, which I put in here. Now, for the other tools, they're mostly covered in the broad scope, and I don't do a lot of tool hunting because the tools that I do use, I explain them in the vulnerability types themselves. They're usually like burp plugins, like authorize and those kind of things. So that's why that's the reason for that. And then of course there's a reporting section in here, and then we come to the full laboratories, which is a combination of all of these different vulnerability types. I can see that it shows up a little bit weird in here, but of course we're going to try and find the 5 issues medium first, then the 6 issues medium level, and then we're going to try the 9 issues hard level. So I tried to make one application that has 9 different vulnerabilities in them in total. And I also have a solution in here as well, of course. So that's how I planned it out that way. And these are web attacks. And then of course you have Red Nightmare 2 and Tempest Fugit 5.4 in here as well. These are excellent machines, which I highly recommend. They're in Von Hop style, and I had them made by Andreas and Arthur. You might know them as Andreas and the Art 42. These guys are really good, and they've built quite a lot of boxes for Try Hack Me and Hack the Box. And this is a chain of vulnerabilities that's going to be in here. So you're going to be expected to do it pretty lifelike, and it's going to be not just 1 or 2 vulnerabilities, but you'll have to chain 4, 5, 6. Just look at the walkthroughs if you're stuck. Don't be ashamed. These are hard machines. Make no excuses about that. Make no mistakes about that, I mean. So that's it pretty much. I have some video solutions again, and then where to go from here. I go over my methodology, or at least I tell you to go over the methodology again. Recommended is Bug Bounty Hunter, of course, some extra videos, some resources, and a list of security video creators to follow. Soon I'm going to be adding some articles about some resources to train amazing hackers. It's just going to be a list of all of these different resources that you can have look at, which are also going to be in here. As for next steps, I also try to update these programs regularly. These are my recommended programs. The title says 604, but that's not true. The last time I've made a update was on 606, I think. 607, somewhere around that range. I made a late update, so I've just forgot to update the title, and we'll come to that in a minute as well, by the way. And then we have all of the extras like Bug Bounty Hunter, Bug Bounty Methodology, using the Wayback Machine, automating your workflow for grabbing endpoints, why you're doing directory brute forcing wrong. These are all videos, well, not all of them, but some of these videos can also be found on my channel if you're interested in that. Just have a look around, and there's going to be plenty of that, as you'll see. Now, that's it for what's in the course. In the next section, we're going to look at what's the minus of these cores, so the negative points. I'll see you in the next section, guys. Welcome back, amazing hackers. So let's talk about the negatives, shall we? Now, as you may have seen in the previous section, it's all quite messy. You guys might know me already. It's quite messy in a sense that every issue type, every single chapter in here has those things that we talked about, being the PDFs, PowerPoint files, videos, and labs. But besides that, I'm quite messy. Like you see here, labs, cross-site scripting. They are with the attack techniques, cross-site scripting, but then XSS, the topic itself, it's quite a way up here, I believe, somewhere. So it's a little bit messy at times. Also for the solutions to the labs, they are there. Every single lab has a solution, but not every single lab has a video solution. And not all of the solutions are extremely well written out. They're usually just, this is how you solve them. But I want to change that to this is how you solve them, and this is why you change them exactly that way. The credibility of the instructor, I'll leave this up to you. I'll leave this in the middle, but you know who I am, you know what I do, so that's up to you to decide. Now we'll move on to the positives. For the positives of this course, there are regular promotions and also updates to the course. That's something that I really prefer and really like. So the price might be a bit steep, but there are regular promotions anyway, like right now, probably in the description below, you can check it out. And there are also quizzes. That's something I don't see in a lot of other courses, but quizzes really help strengthen the knowledge, in my opinion. So I always try to include them, not just issue type X. I have a community set up. You can always tweet at me. You can send an email to info@thexssrat.com. So if you have a question, I'll try to get to you as soon as possible on that. So the support on it is pretty big, in my opinion. Some courses, they leave you kind of in the blind after the course. They don't give you much of a community to fall back on and to ask questions. That's what I try to include in mine. And then I'm trying to train a mindset as well, not just a technical hacker, but a hacker who can think functionally and attack things. That's very important to me, not just run a tool blindly. I'm trying to increase repeatability of my course, trying to go through it again, because I'm pretty sure that by the time you will have gone through it, you'll be back at the beginning and you'll notice that you've missed quite a few things when you go through it again. So you'll get quite a lot of value out of this course, in my opinion. That's at least what I've tried to put in here. The labs, there are quite a lot of them, and they are based on real life findings. So that's a big plus for me always. If labs are built on real life findings, I always try to look for that in a course. And also the updates. I already talked a little bit about this, but again, I find this vital, and this is something that, in my opinion, every course should have. Now we'll move on to what's missing. As for what's missing, what I would have liked to put in here, or what I am putting in here still, is some extra labs. Now, what the labs that I have in here are trying to do is they try to put you in a position where you're uncomfortable. And it's not just going to be, oh, look for vulnerability type CSRF in this functionality. No, I'm actually going to give you a full website, and I'm going to tell you, hey, there's a CSRF issue in here. Can you find it? And that's what makes my labs a little bit better, in my opinion, because I actually try to emulate a real life environment, in a sense that I try to hide all of these issue types among a noise of other things. All of the labs are shared as well. Just like in bug bounties, you're going to get distractions left and right. It's up to you to get out of those distractions, but what I would have really liked is to add some more labs, and I'm thinking now it would have been a good idea to do this from the start. Some labs where I go really through the basics of the vulnerability before I throw you in and try to make you do other things as well, and try to find it beyond all of this other functionality. What's also missing from here is the clearer course plan. That's something I've been trying to do as well for my coming courses. I'm trying to really make a course plan of how you should treat the course, how you should go about it, what you should do, how much time you should plan for all of the chapters, and all of these extra things. So that's also something that's what separates a normal course from a good course for me, or at least what separates a good course from a really good course for me. Somebody who really thinks about the lesson plan and what his students are going to learn, instead of somebody who just thinks about what he should be teaching. So what I also want is a lab for a walkthrough of every single lab, a video of every single lab, of course, that's what I mean. And that's what I've been trying to do with this course. As you can see, it's quite large, it's quite comprehensive, it might be quite expensive, but two things: there's usually a promotion running, and there's usually a payment plan for all of these courses as well. Same for this one. You can pay in 3 terms, you don't have to pay it all at once. So I try to be as open as possible. Now, that's basically the guide. There's a lot of stuff in here. Will this get you a bug? Will this make you successful? That's, first of all, partially up to you, about how you go about this course, about how you apply it, and how about you keep practicing beyond just the things that we've provided, because as every course maker knows, it's impossible to provide comprehensive practice material. So it's always up to you to go out and find some more on your own. Now, before the time you've finished killing those OVA files and those real websites, you're going to be busy for a while. I can promise you that. These are not easy machines by any stretch of the imagination. But I can't promise you a bug. Nobody can promise you a bug. If everybody ever tries to promise you a bug, try to run away as fast as you can, because those things, they don't just grow on trees, and you really have to put in a lot of effort. But what I am trying to do here is set you up with a solid methodology that's not just about the vulnerability types, but also about everything that goes around it. And there are some things missing. There are some things which could be some more clear and some more concise and some more orderly, but I am not the perfect person to do that. I'm not really great at that. So that's basically my course, my bug bounty guide. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next episode. Bye, amazing hackers.